Right now at 5, people rolling up their sleeves for Valentine's Day.
As much as I can, help is, I'm happy to do it.
The urgent demand from the local Red Cross. Plus, neighbors near the ICE facility take their complaints to federal court. And getting steamy along the Willamette.
Talk about a mood booster, because you're either shivering or you're smiling or you're steaming.
The brand new festival this weekend in Milwaukee. First here at 5, we're looking ahead to our very first chance of some lower elevation snow this winter. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is here to let us know what we can expect. Joe, what's the timing on all this?
So basically the timing is late Monday night, late President's Day night, and into Tuesday morning, where we could be seeing some snow showers up throughout the Coast Range and the Cascades, and maybe down through parts of the West Hills, maybe down to the Valley floor. I'll show you what we're looking at right now. Just some light showers. There have also been some snow showers throughout the Oregon Cascades here the last couple of hours. Tomorrow, we could be looking at some light morning showers. A weak disturbance will be kind of rolling through late tonight and into tomorrow, bringing, brief chance for some showers throughout the early morning hours. By 10 o'clock, we're drying out, and by the afternoon, it's going to be more partly sunny skies. So now I want you to pay attention to the futurecast. This is the graph model that's showing when the showers will be rolling in late tonight. If we see anything, it's going to be light, similar to what we saw earlier this morning with those low clouds that brought in some light precipitation. Really didn't add up to a whole lot. Going into tomorrow afternoon, a little bit of some clearing, and then a little bit of some showers at times tomorrow on Monday for President's Day. And then we get into the late morning along the Coast Range. You could be seeing a mix of rain and snow. And then we see some calm conditions, mostly sunny skies. Here we are late Monday night and into early Tuesday. The Coast Range is seeing a blanket of snow. Some models are trying to bring in those snow levels down to the valley floor. But what I am paying close attention to is just how cold things will be getting over the next couple of days and the nights. Nice thing is we're going to be warming up well above freezing. I'll talk more about that and let you not worry that we're going to be seeing a major snow event in the valley floor. The Coast Range and the mountains, that could be something different. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you later. Valentine's Day is, of course, about showing love, and today some people are doing just that by rolling up their sleeves. That's because it's also National Blood Donor Day. Our Corey Johnson has more on why the Red Cross says the need is critical right now.
I feel like it's the least I can do to help out, other people that need it.
Roger Anderson is one of many giving the gift of a blood donation this Valentine's Day, which also happens to be National Blood Donor Day, an overlap some didn't realize.
I did not, no, but it's a nice coincidence.
This year, the Red Cross is highlighting a critical shortage.
We started this year in a severe blood shortage, 35% reduction in what we need to have. And that was just exacerbated by the winter storms that we've had back east.
In our area, the Red Cross serves roughly 60 hospitals. So far, there haven't been any surgery cancellations, but there is a severe need for A negative, B negative, and type O blood, which is most often used in surgeries.
We've had to cancel over 500 blood drives, which means 20,000 units have not been collected. And we're just trying to climb out of that right now.
Every year, 155,000 units of blood are collected in the Cascades region. Red Cross staff members say once blood is collected for local banks, it's sent to areas that need it most. So your donation goes a long way.
There is an update that comes out occasionally that says, by giving blood, you've helped this many people. And so it's a small effort that I'm happy to do because it's gratifying knowing that it helps others, even if it's anonymously.
Now an update to the search in Arizona for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Investigators say they found DNA at Guthrie's property that does not belong to her or those who are close to her. Friday night, more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles, including SWAT and forensics, were seen at a home 2 miles from Nancy's for several hours. But today we learned no one was arrested there.
Homes are not right next to each other. They're really spread out. A disappearance, a kidnapping in one home, the next house would not even know about it.
Authorities were also seen towing a Range Rover from the parking lot of a restaurant, but no word yet on if that's connected to this case. Back at home, Portland police are investigating a shooting that happened this morning at a park. Police were called to Northgate Park on North Geneva Avenue around 9:45, where they found a man shot. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Detectives are asking people to reach out if they know anything about the suspect or suspects. In Tigard, a homeowner is picking up the pieces after authorities say a speeding pickup truck launched through the air and crashed into the side of his house. Police say the truck veered off Shoals Ferry Road and hit a dirt berm. It then flew 100 feet through the air, cleared a 3-foot retaining wall, and landed inside the house. All of this just before 3 in the morning.
I'm just waking up. I can't process like what I'm seeing. I get down the stairs and I realize my whole front of my house is completely just gone.
Well, that man there, David, and his wife and their 3 kids were just above that part of the house that the truck hit. Thankfully, they were not hurt. Both the truck's driver and a passenger suffered minor injuries. Officers arrested the driver, 33-year-old Jacob Hankins. He's been charged with reckless driving and reckless endangering. An investigation into a burglary in Lake Oswego has led to 3 arrests. It started when the suspects broke into the house of someone who had recently died and stole dozens of weapons. That was last October. Police arrested one suspect after 2 people tried to break into the same home in December. That led them to the next 2. At the end of it all, police recovered more than 30 weapons, plus stolen artwork and military service medals. Neighbors of Portland's ICE facility are taking the federal government to court over its response to protests they say have filled their homes with tear gas night after night. They testified on Friday, sharing what it's been like since last summer and asking the court to limit the use of tear gas. Alma McCarty has that story.
They've experienced months upon months upon months of tear gas and flashbangs and rubber bullets and just terror from federal agents.
And Friday afternoon, several Gray's Landing tenants took those stories to federal court, arguing the Department of Homeland Security has infringed upon their rights to life, liberty, and property by the repeated use of tear gas and other chemical munitions outside their apartment complex.
It affected our building severely. I think the first time our building got filled up with tear gas was in June.
Residents say this repeated exposure has led to difficulty breathing, coughing, burning eyes, throats, and skin, PTSD, and panic attacks. The gas forcing them to stick towels under their doors and wear gas masks in their own homes.
Even if they wanted to escape the tear gas, they can't because it's their home. Specifically, these are a lot of people living on fixed incomes.
DHS has argued federal officers have used these crowd-control devices to respond to violent protests. But in the lawsuit, residents argue the agents continued to deploy these munitions when officers faced no violence or other imminent threat, even alleging they've used them to put on a show for conservative influencers and for propaganda purposes.
It was very moving and really critical to hear their stories, and we really need the government to stop using those chemical munitions, which is what today was all about.
Also on Friday, the city's permitting office upheld a land use violation for the ICE building. The city says ICE was keeping detainees there for more than 12 hours, which is against their agreement. The landlord has until mid-March to make corrections or face a more than $900 a month fine. ICE says it's taken action to make sure detainees are not held more than 12 hours by increasing staff and other resources. Portland Fire and Rescue are investigating an overnight house fire. It happened around 4 this morning near Southeast Division and 145th. By the time firefighters got there, the entire second floor was on fire. Just look at that. Fire and Rescue says it's a vacant house that appears to be under construction, but it has a history of 911 calls reporting people inside. The fire was put out in about 15 minutes. Well, check this out. A reason to break out the swimsuit in February. This weekend, Milwaukee Bay Park is hosting the Willamette Sauna Festival. This brand new event invites people to the waterfront to enjoy the more than a dozen unique mobile sauna cabins, as well as drinks and live music. The event organizer telling us he wanted to do this purely out of love.
My wife and I really wanted to share our passion with the world, and being born and raised here in Portland and being hugely passionate about sauna, we said, why not throw a big sauna party? And so at the start of National Sauna Week, we said, let's have a festival.
The festival continues tomorrow. Tickets start at $25. And you've got just one more night to see downtown Portland lit up like never before. Tonight is the last night of the Winter Light Festival. Among the more than 200 art installations at many of the sites, there will be live performances, workshops, and other events. The main sites are Directors Park, the World Trade Center, and Pioneer Courthouse Square.